So, June 12th, 2025. A date that, well, it definitely sent some shockwaves through the football world, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the news confirming Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving Liverpool after, what, 20 years?
Yeah,
And heading to Real Madrid, it felt huge.
it did. Both kind of expected in some ways, maybe, but still stunning when it actually happened. A player who really defined that right back role for Liverpool, heading to, well, arguably the biggest club on the planet.
Exactly. Trent, he's 26 now, standing there on the Bernabéu stage, or well, at the presentation anyway. It really feels like a significant moment, a shift. And we've been looking through all the material, the reports, trying to piece together how this happened and, what it all really means.
Yeah, that's what we want to dive into today. We've got the analyses, the background info. We want to unpack why Real Madrid wanted him so badly, some of the, well, surprising twists in how the deal actually got done.
And what skills he really brings, because he's not your average defender, is he? Plus the challenges, because, let's be honest, Madrid is a different beast.
Definitely. And maybe what this whole thing says about, the bigger picture in football right now. So let's get into it.
Right. Well, the place to start has to be the unveiling itself, doesn't it? June 12th. Not at the Bernabeu itself for this one, but Valdebebas, their training ground. Still, all the glitz.
Oh, yeah. The full works, lights, cameras, packed press room, all the big wigs from the club there.
And then there he is, Trent walking out, holding up that iconic white shirt, number 12.
Which has some history at Madrid, worn by Marcelo for years, Camavinga more recently too. He's there, signing the 6-year contract, big smile on his face, looks happy.
And you've got Florentino Perez, the president, right
Yeah.
there. The man known for, well, collecting superstars. Trent's definitely the latest addition to that collection.
And some familiar faces in the crowd too, legends like Roberto Carlos, Butragueño. I saw Alvaro Arbeloa was mentioned too, someone who knows both Liverpool and Madrid inside out, probably giving him a knowing look.
Yeah, like, welcome to the circus.
Yeah.
But the bit that really got everyone talking, the real jaw-dropper moment.
Had to be the speech, right?
Absolutely. Delivered it all in fluent Spanish.
Wow.
Yeah, reports said you could almost hear a pin drop. People were genuinely stunned. I don't think anyone, maybe even Liverpool fans back home, expected that level of fluency right off the bat.
It wasn't just like a couple of thank yous either, was it? It sounded like he spoke pretty confidently.
He did. Thanked Perez, the club, called it a dream come true, said he was ready to give everything for the badge, for the fans. It instantly changed the feeling, made it seem less like just a business transaction.
Yeah, more personal. And for him, it's framed as this huge career step, doesn't it? A chance to build a legacy somewhere else. Maybe even, dare we say it, eyeing that Ballon d'Or down the line.
Huh. Well, maybe. He did touch on it, acknowledging the dream. But realistically, sharing a pitch with Mbappé, Bellingham, Vinícius Jr., that's some stiff competition for individual awards.
Very true. A crowded field is putting it mildly.
Yeah.
But, okay, how did we even get to that presentation?
Yeah.
Because the backstory, the how, is actually pretty fascinating. It wasn't straightforward.
Not at all. The crucial piece of the puzzle is his contract situation at Liverpool. It was set to expire on June 30th, 2025.
Right. So he was literally weeks away from being a free agent, which makes you wonder, why did Real Madrid end up paying anything? Why not just wait?
Good question. And the answer seems to be the Club World Cup.
Ah, the expanded tournament in the U.S.
Exactly. It was kicking off on June 14th. Real Madrid had their first game scheduled for June 18th down in Miami against Al Hilal if they wanted Trent available for that tournament right from the start.
They couldn't wait until July 1st when he'd be officially out of contract. They needed him registered before June 30th.
Precisely. And that's where this reported fee, around $10 million, comes into play. It wasn't really a transfer fee for the player himself, more like buying out those last 2 weeks of his Liverpool contract.
Just to get him eligible for that specific tournament.
Oh.
Well, that shows how much they wanted him integrated immediately, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
Speaks volumes about his importance in their plans, especially with the fixtures coming up thick and fast.
And you can imagine how this played back in Liverpool. Obviously heartbreak for the fans. A lad who joined the academy age 6, leaving after 2 whole decades.
Yeah, massive. And then all the speculation starts, doesn't it? Had he been planning this for ages?
The Spanish lessons definitely added fuel to that fire. You saw the jokes, practicing verbs while taking corners, that sort of thing.
Right. But for some fans, it probably felt a bit like, well, like maybe the decision was made long before anyone knew. Maybe a bit blindsided.
Understandable. Though, it's fair to say there was also a sense of acceptance eventually, wasn't there? Especially hearing people like Klopp, Salah talking about celebrating everything he achieved for the club.
And you can't argue with his record at Anfield. It's immense. 9 major trophies, Champions League winner in 2019, Premier League titles in 2020, and crucially, that final one in 2025. He won the lot.
His legacy there is rock solid. And apparently the farewell was pretty emotional too. Reports mention tears, him with his family, shows the connection was still deep, even with the move happening.
Definitely. And it seems Madrid's interest wasn't just a last-minute thing either. Sources suggest they were really keeping tabs on him, especially from January 2025 onwards, given their own injury woes at the back.
Liverpool obviously weren't selling then, but with the contract running down and Trent perhaps feeling he'd done all he could there, the door opened.
And Madrid pounced, securing him on a long-term deal until 2031, even with that early release payment, probably feels like smart business from their perspective. Getting a player of his caliber without a 9-figure transfer fee.
Yeah, you could see it as a bit of a coup, really. But let's dig into the why. Why Trent specifically? Okay, the contract helped, but why invest even at 10 pound meters in a right back when you've got Mbappé, Vinny Jr., Bellingham lighting things up?
Because, well, the analysis consistently points to him being something different. Not just a defender. He gets called a footballing unicorn quite a lot.
Okay, unpack that. What does unicorn mean here?
It's the combination, you see. He's got the defensive positioning, though, fair enough. That's sometimes been questioned, his concentration. But then you add the vision, the passing range of a top central midfielder. And crucially, the delivery, the crossing accuracy of an elite winger.
The GPS in his boots thing people talk about.
Yeah.
The ability to pick out a pass from almost anywhere.
Exactly. It's that range and accuracy that's just, well, it's rare.
And the numbers back it up. That record, 13 assists for a defender in one Premier League season, 2019-20. That's insane. Plus being in the Champions League Team of the Season twice.
Absolutely. And you have to look at Real Madrid's situation last season. Their defense was, let's just say, chaotic at times with injuries. Almost like a soap opera.
Yeah, Carvajal out since October 2024. Long-term knee injuries for Militão. Alaba needing surgeries. Lucas Vazquez had to fill in at right back. And maybe struggled a bit for consistency.
Right. So Trent walks into a situation where, yes, he's a star signing, but also there's a genuine need for stability and quality in that position. He might be essential right away.
Not just a luxury signing, then.
Probably not. But it's also about the tactical fit, especially under the new coach, Xabi Alonso.
Ah, the Liverpool connection there, too.
Indeed. Alonso likes his teams to play on the front foot, high press, attack-minded. Now, imagine Trent's ability to spray those long, searching diagonal passes for runners like Mbappé and Vinícius Jr.
Yeah, you can picture it. Those guys are already like they're running in fast forward, give them that kind of service.
It could be devastating. His passing could unlock a whole new dimension for their attack, couldn't it? Hitting those runs early.
Definitely seems like a potential game changer tactically. And look, the signing itself is a massive statement, isn't it? After a rare season without a trophy in 2024-25, which is like a crisis in Madrid.
It absolutely is. Bringing in Trent, adding him to that already star-studded squad. It's Real Madrid saying, okay, we're back, we mean business, reasserting dominance.
But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, is it? Moving to Real Madrid, especially into that defense after a tough year, the pressure is immense. The sources we looked at certainly flagged the challenges.
Oh, massively. Madrid is, well, it's a pressure cooker. There's no other way to put it. The Bernabéu faithful, they're passionate, but incredibly impatient. If things aren't clicking, you hear about it loudly.
The famous whistles. Louder than a kettle, they say?
Exactly. And that scrutiny, remember the criticisms about his defensive concentration sometimes? Those moments where maybe he switches off for a split second.
Yeah, the daydreaming label some have used.
Well, those moments, if they happen in Madrid, they'll be magnified like crazy. Under a microscope. Every single pass, every tackle, every decision gets analyzed to death by the media and fans.
And then there's the tactical question mark with Alonso, which you touched on. Alonso likes those really athletic, nonstop running wing backs, right? Up and down, up and down.
That's the reputation, yeah. Whereas Trent, his genius often comes from, maybe, finding space, standing still for a moment, and delivering an absolutely perfect ball. It's less about constant overlaps, more about vision and technique from deeper or wider areas.
So the question is, does Trent have to change his game quite significantly to fit Alonso's demands? Maybe sacrifice some of that unique style? Or does Alonso tweak his system to get the best out of Trent's specific skill set?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It feels like a really key tactical puzzle they need to solve. Some analysis even suggested adapting to Alonso's specific system might be tougher for him than fitting into other setups.
Interesting. And circling back to that Ballon d'Or potential,
Mm.
he did get asked about it at the presentation, didn't he?
He did, and he handled it pretty smoothly. Said it wasn't the reason he moved, basically. And he was realistic, wasn't he? Pointed out he's now teammates with Mbappé, Bellingham, Vini Jr. Hard to stand out for individual awards in that company.
Yeah, kind of pours a little cold water on the fan excitement you see online.
Yeah.
People already saying, Ballon d'Or contender, now he's at Madrid.
Shows the potential people say, but yeah, the competition within the club itself is fierce for that kind of recognition.
Okay, let's go back to the Spanish thing again, because it clearly made a huge impact on day one. Beyond just being impressive, there's real practical advantage there, isn't there?
Oh, definitely. Think about other big British signings in Spain who maybe struggled with the language, certainly early on. Trent arriving already fluent. That's massive.
And the reports saying he started learning months back, maybe late 2024, shows some serious foresight.
It does. Now, okay, maybe some Liverpool fans saw that and thought, aha, he was planning to leave all along. But from the Madrid side, it just looks incredibly professional, doesn't it?
Completely. And essential for dealing with that media environment you mentioned.
Exactly. The Madrid press can be absolutely ruthless. They dissect everything. They can build you up, tear you down. Being able to speak the language directly, to front up yourself, to connect with fans without a translator, it helps manage that narrative. It signals real commitment right away. Very, very smart.
So, okay, the deal's done, the early release sorted, the presentation nailed with the fluent Spanish.
Yeah.
What happens right now? What's the immediate focus for Trent in a Real Madrid shirt?
Well, the first big test is literally happening as we speak, almost. The Club World Cup over in the States.
Right, and because they paid that fee and FIFA had that special transfer window for the tournament, he's eligible immediately.
Yep, registered and ready to go. Which means his debut could potentially be that first game on June 18th.
Against Al Hilal in Miami. Then they've got Pachuca from Mexico and Red Bull Salzburg in their group too.
So this tournament, it's his first chance to really make an impression on the pitch. A few trademark assists, maybe finding Mbappé or Vini Jr. with those crosses. That's how you start winning over those demanding Madrid fans.
They make an instant impact. And then after that, it's straight into the build-up for the 2025-26 La Liga season, isn't it?
Exactly. The real marathon begins. And after that trophyless season, the pressure is on Real Madrid from day one. His role, given Carvajal's uncertain return timetable, could be absolutely vital from the get-go. If he adapts, handles the pressure, he could become a key player very, very quickly.
It's just impossible, though, to talk about this without reflecting on the Liverpool side of it.
Yeah.
20 years.
It's incredible, isn't it? Joined the academy when he was 6 years old. Played over 350 times for the first team. He wasn't just a player. He felt like the heartbeat of that team under Klopp for a long time.
Redefined the position and won absolutely everything.
Champions League, Premier Leagues, FA Cups, League Cups, Club World Cup. Ticked every single box at club level.
And while, the way it ended, turning down the contract extension maybe caused some friction, his view seems to be, look, I achieved everything I dreamed of here. 20 years is a long time. Maybe it's time for something new.
A new challenge, a different league, different pressures. And that farewell, the reports of him being emotional at Anfield with his family, it shows it wasn't an easy decision, The connection was real.
Yeah. And football clubs move on, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool are already reportedly bringing in players like Frimpong, looking at others like Wirtz, reshaping for the future.
You have to. But Trent's move, it does say something bigger, doesn't it, about Real Madrid's pull. They still manage to get these huge talents. Sometimes, like here, using a contract situation really smartly, they make these dream moves happen.
And it kind of pushes back against the idea that the Premier League is all powerful financially. Okay, it is, but then you see moves like Trent's, like Bellingham before him, that Real Madrid allure, the history, the 14 European Cups, the brand, that spaceship stadium.
It's still unique, isn't it? It holds a special place. It shows that even homegrown heroes from the very top Premier League clubs can still be drawn to that white shirt.
It's a different world he's stepping into, though. You mentioned the media.
Yeah, it's intense. The Madrid sports papers, the radio shows, they live and breathe Real Madrid. Compared to them, maybe the British tabloids seem tame sometimes.
Oh, no.
They analyze tactics, body language, off-pitch stuff, everything. His Spanish is going to be a huge shield, a huge tool for him there. Being able to communicate directly, maybe head off some potential dramas.
And the fans, too. You said passionate, demanding.
Yeah.
Unforgiving sometimes.
They can be. They demand success. They demand effort. They demand quality. You have to earn their respect. Performances are key. A few amazing assists, a goal line clearance, and a big game. That's what wins them over.
Needs to impress him quickly. So, quite the journey then, from the Cop to the Bernabéu. One iconic stadium to another.
It really is a massive, bold step for him, a completely new chapter, and he arrives carrying enormous expectation, enormous pressure.
And we'll see how he handles it straight away.
Yeah.
The Club World Cup, then La Liga, eventually his first Clásico. Huge moments coming up.
Yeah, and it just leaves you with these big questions, doesn't it? Can this player, who was so revolutionary in England with that unique style, truly adapt and dominate in Spain under this coach, with these teammates, under this intense scrutiny?
Will he change his game, or will Real Madrid have to adapt slightly to him? That tactical question feels key.
It does. And what does this move, maybe partly facilitated by a contract running down, tell us about how clubs at the very top operate now, the power dynamics, the strategies involved in getting the absolute elite players?
Fascinating stuff. It's a story that's really just kicking off, isn't it? And you can bet the whole football world will be watching very closely to see how Trent Alexander-Arnold fares in Madrid.